17th of April, Rabbi Levitt. What are we doing today?
Oh, you want to continue with the Ramban?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's see, where were we? We were on in Parshas Bo.
Yeah, this is Parshas Bo, and it's the very last pasuk that he comments on in Parshas Bo.
Right.
Ulatotafos bein einecha.
Meir's not going to join us today. He was in here earlier, but he had to leave.
Ah,
Okay, so
so you go a few lines down.
right,
I mean, it started with we started in the middle of this piece where it says Viata Omer Lecha Klal Batam Mitzvus Rabos. And now I'm going to tell you a major klal in the mitzvahs.
right,
And then in uh, in the course of his he's starting off right now talking about the history of the Amuna of the world. And
right,
from the time of Enosh, there was a shibush, there was a mix up, meaning a misunderstanding in mankind's perception of Hashem. Either they didn't believe in Hashem altogether, did it meaning to say that there was what does that mean? that there was not a creator. That's what that means. Olam kadmon, or they would dispute Hashem's interest or knowledge of what goes on in the world, and and his lack of hashgacha over the world. Maybe he created the world, but he didn't continue to be interested in the world or take get involved in what happens in the world. So the world is left to chance and happenstance, and one man could do anything to another man. They're all like fish in the sea. So what happens with fish in the sea? Uh, Big fish eats the small fish.
right.
That's what people believe. The survival of the fittest. That's the way the world goes. Now, of course, if that would be so, then how on earth would the Klal Yisrael be continuing to exist today? But
We're definitely a little fish.
yeah, okay. He's then and then he spoke about the fact that um, when Hashem has a a desire for a certain individual or group of peoples, and he could make a miracle, he can make a mofes, and this teaches that Hashem is running the world, and he's mashkiach in the world. And when that is preceded by the pronouncement of a navi, of course, that shows that Hashem speaks to man, and is kayam imzeh haTorah kula, and with that, that amounts to the establishment of the truth of the authenticity of the Torah itself, which what does that mean? That the Torah was given by Hashem to a prophet. That's as opposed to just it's simply like folk sayings or of wise people. Okay. Now it goes on from there. Ulechein Yomer Hakosuv B'Mofsim. Oh, and then we did this also. Ulechein Yomer Hakosuv B'Mofsim Leman Teda Ki Ani Hashem B'Kerev Haaretz. That's why it says in Shmos, in the Parshas of the Makos, that Hashem says the Makos are being done. Leman Teda Ki Ani Hashem B'Kerev Haaretz. That I am Hashem in the midst of the land. The Horos al Ashkocha. This shows that Hashem is, in fact, the Mashgiach. He didn't. Not only is he the creator, but he's also the Mashgiach, and continuing to supervise and overlook and be involved in the world. And that proves that he did not forsake the world and left it to its own devices, as those people thought. The Omar Laman Teda Ki Lashem Haaretz, and then another statement over another group of Makos. In other words, that you should know that the land is Hashem's. What does that mean? Lahoros alachidush yihem shalo shaboram me'ayin. That shows that Hashem, if Hashem can in one instant perform a makkah, and now all of a sudden the world is completely different. There was no way to be able to explain that this would happen in the next second. So it shows that Hashem is able to be mechadesh the world in the way that He wants that it should be, contrary to the laws of nature, and that shows that there was no such a thing as the world just being there, but rather that He was the one who created it, because He just showed you that He recreated the Nile River, and now it's no longer a river; it's blood, for example. The Amar Bavur Teda Ki Ein Kamoni B'Kol Haaretz. And then there's another statement that it says that there's that you should know that there's no one like me in all of the land. Laharos haliyacholas shehu shalit b'kol. This teaches on Hashem's all-encompassing ability, that He is able to rule over and have dominion over everything and anything that there is in the world. There's not one thing in the world that He doesn't have dominion on and cannot do with it as He wishes. Ein ma'akev biyodo. Ki b'chol zeh hayu hamitzrim makchishim o mestapkim. And in all of these matters of emunah, the Mitzrim, and maybe other people other than the Mitzrim, they disputed, or they were in a doubt about. They didn't know whether they didn't know. Im kain, if so, ha'osos v'amofsim hagdolim edim nemonim be'emunas habore u'betorah kula. So if so, all of the signs and wonders of Mitzrayim were trustworthy witnesses that testified to emunah in Hashem and in the whole Torah. Okay, now we're going to get to new territory right now. You got the place? Uba'avur ki HaKadosh Baruch Hu lo yaseh.
Uba'avur. I see a bunch of discussion about Egypt. Are we before or after that?
I think that's what we. What does it say exactly? Maybe you want to read it?
It says we have to have constantly a reminder of a sign of what we saw in Egypt to transmit the matter to our children and our grandchildren. Uh, God was very stringent in the matter. He imposed the law of eating chametz. Um,
Oh, you're reading from the translation?
yeah,
Oh, we didn't get that far yet. Okay.
we didn't get that far. Okay, so let me turn back.
We basically just got through quoting the three seminal statements from the psukim in the parshas on the Makos, because they
Well, I
will
think
know
I
that
see it. Uba'avor ki Hashem lo yaseh.
um,
Is that what you just said?
now I have to find where this bavur is. I lost the place now. Uh, yeah, ubavor ki hakadosh baruch hu lo yaseh.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, and let's just see what he says over here. Ba'avor ki hakadosh baruch hu lo yaseh osa mofsis b'kol dor le'ene kol rasha o kofer. Oh, this is a and and uh, and on account of the fact that Hakadosh Baruch Hu does not do these signs and wonders in every generation. Le'ene kol rasha kofer, in the eyes of every wicked or denying person. Yitzave osanu shenase tamid zichron va'os liasher ra'ul einenu. So since Hashem doesn't do such things, he did it in the generation of Mitzrayim, and he doesn't do it in every generation. So therefore, Hashem commanded that we the Jewish people make a commemoration and a sign to commemorate that which our forefathers saw with their own eyes. We didn't see with our own eyes, but they saw with their own eyes all of these makos. V'natik hadavar el b'neinu u'b'neihem livneihem u'b'neihem l'dor acharon. And therefore we will transmit this matter of the signs and wonders that Hashem did in Mitzrayim to our children, and they in turn will transmit it to their children all the way until the last generation. Vehechmir ma'od. This is what you were just reading before. And Hashem was very stringent in the matter that this should be commemorated and remembered. Be'inyan hazeh, kamo shechayev kores ba'achilas chametz u'ba'azivas hapesach. The mitzvahs, the main mitzvahs of Pesach are not eating chametz and bringing a korban Pesach, and we find very stringent penalties for not performing those two mitzvahs. Somebody eats chametz on Pesach, he's chayev kores. Somebody doesn't bring a korban Pesach when it's possible to bring a korban Pesach, it's a chayev kores. There's no such mitzvahs that are like this in Kol Torah Kula. There's no. Okay, now V'hetstrich shenechtav kol ma shenira aleinu ba'osos u'b'mopsim al yedenu v'al bein einenu. And this is where the mitzvah of tefillin comes in. We're putting tefillin on the rosh and on the yad. And what is this all about? Well, if you take a look inside the batim of the tefillin, and you see the four parshios that we put into the batim that we put on our arm and our head, they're all about Mitzrayim. V'lichtov oso od al piskei habatim, and not only on our arm and our head, we put it on the doorpost of our house. B'mezuzos shenazkir zeh b'fanenu b'boker u'be'erev, that we should always constantly be reminded of this and reinforce it within us, day and night. Kamo she'amru, like it says, emes v'yatziv. This is after we say Kriyashma, we say emes v'yatziv. That's the Birkas Kriyashma. Deraisa mima shekosav leman tizkor es yom tzeischa me'eretz Mitzrayim kol yemei chayecha. This is a fulfillment of the pasuk in the Torah. We have a pasuk in the Torah that says that this is all, these mitzvahs are all in order that you should, and it's a mitzvah itself. There's a mitzvah itself to remember what Hashem did for Klal Yisrael in Mitzrayim, kol yemei chayecha, every day of your life. And we fulfill that by saying the Birkas Kriyashma, which if you take a look in the Birkas Kriyashma, you'll see that it's filled with references of Mitzrayim and how Hashem smote the firstborn, and how there was Kriyas Yamsuf, and so since all these things are not happening in every generation, Hashem doesn't do things like this in every generation. So that's why Hashem commanded us to in many mitzvahs that we should remember that it actually did happen to our forefathers, and that they saw all of these things with their own eyes. Ushanasa sukkah b'kol shana, and even that we should make a sukkah every year. Sukkah is also a zecher of Yetzias Mitzrayim, says the Ramban. Because when Klal Yisrael went into the Midbar, they followed Hashem into the Midbar after they were they walked with a high hand out of Mitzrayim. So Hashem continued to provide for them and to support them in the Midbar, in a place which is basically a Midbar was totally uninhabitable, and that's part of the miracles of Mitzrayim. And in terms of the length of time that the miracle happened, it was over a period, a day in, day out for 40 years, which in that sense is a much greater a magnitude of a nes. The Cain called Kayotza Behen Mitzvahs Rabos, and therefore we see this is that there are many mitzvahs Rabos, says the Ramban, which are Zecher Lietzias Mitzrayim. They cause us to remember about the experience of the Exodus. V'hakol, and what is the whole purpose of remembering about the Exodus? Hakol lios lanu b'kol hadoros eidos b'movsim shaloi ishtachachu. That there should be an everlasting testimony that we should never forget. V'lo yeh pischon peh lekofer lehakhish emunas elokim. And so no disbeliever should be able to get up and say, "Oh, how do you know that all of his heresy and atheism?" There's no such a thing. Anybody who who uh, who performs all of these mitzvahs will be clear about the fact that so all the principles of Amunah that we set down that the whole exodus of Egypt taught us. Ki akoina mezuzah bezuz echad v'kavo bepiskoi uniskaven beinyonoi kvar hoda bechidush ha'olam ubiadias habore b'hashkachoso. Because someone who buys a mezuzah for just one zuz, relatively inexpensive price. Don't know exactly how much one zuz is, but right, $100, let's say. So he's got one mezuzah. So $100 he spent. That's not even, you can't even get in the door to get to what's the name of that restaurant over there in the Har Chutzvim? For $100, they won't even sit you down. And what do you do when you get there? You just eat. But over here, for that $100, you could buy a mezuzah and put it on your and fix it on your doorpost, and you have kavanah in doing this, that you have already shown your assertion and your admission that Hashem is the one who created the world, and Hashem knows everything about what goes on in the world, and Hashem is mashgiach, and he supervises and overlooks and gets involved in everything that happens in the world, v'gam b'nevuah, and also in prophecy, v'hemin b'kol pinos haTorah milvad shahoda shechesed habore gadol ma'od al osei ritzoino shehotzionu mi'oso avdus lecherus ukvod gadol lizkois avuseinu achafetzim beyiras shmo. Let's say this over again. It's a long sentence over here. So we're talking about somebody that did one of these mitzvahs. For example, he bought a mezuzah and he puts it up in his doorpost. So what does that demonstrate? I mean, he's got to have, he should have intention when he puts it up, that this is what he's stating when he does that. He has this in mind when he does that mitzvah, because that's what the mitzvah is all about. It's about Chiddush Olam, it's about Yediyas Abori, it's about Hashkachosoi, his Emunah in Nevuah, and that he has Emunah in all of this, every single nook and cranny of what it says in the Torah. Bilvad, apart from the fact that that's not even including that he is also admitting that to the great loving kindness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he exhibited to those that do his will. Osei Ritzono. That what did he do for them? That's talking about Klal Yisrael. That Hashem, that was in Mitzrayim. What did Hashem do for them? Hotzianu me'oso avdus. He took us out from that servitude and slavery that we were suffering over there, lecherus, and we were totally free from that domination of Paro and Mitzrayim, ukvod ukvod godol, and he gave us a great honor. Lizkois abuseinu hachafetzin beyiras shmo. To give merit to our to the avos that desired the honor of Hashem's name, because ultimately the schus of Klal Yisrael to leave Mitzrayim was in the promises that Hashem gave to the Avos. He promised the Avos. He promised Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu, listen, in 400 years, you're gonna be the forefather of the nation that I'm gonna take out of Mitzrayim. That was the Bris Bein HaBesarim. Did Avram Avinu ever see the fulfillment of that promise that Hashem made? No. It was 400 years later. But but that was the schus that, and also to Yitzchak and also to Yaakov, Hashem promised all of the avos. Lefikach Amru, Havi Zohir b'mitzvah kala kiva chamura shekulon chamudois v'chavivos ma'od. And now he gets back to the subject of mitzvah observance. So therefore, we have to understand what these mitzvahs involve. These mitzvahs involve tremendous principles of emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore, we should be very careful to do all of them, even those that seem to us to be very minor, mitzvah kala, very, very insignificant. We should do them all as with the same carefulness as the mitzvahs which are more chamor. And how you determine a mitzvah which is chamor would in other words by the reward, by the onesh for not doing it. Shekulan chamudos, all of them are so desirous, v'chavivos ma'od, and cherished. Shebekol shah adam modeh behen lelokov, because with every mitzvah that a person does, he is really making a admission of Hashem and all of the emunah of what and who Hashem is and what is Hashem does. Ukavanas kol hamitzvahs shenamin belukeinu. Now he's talking about all mitzvahs. He was discussing up until now basically the mitzvahs of that are a directly connected to the Exodus from Egypt. Can't say that every single mitzvah that Hashem gives us is connected to the Exodus of Egypt, but there are others that are not directly connected. But this principle that we say by Mitzrayim and the mitzvahs that commemorate Mitzrayim, and we say, what's the whole point of the commemoration? To the emunah in Hashem. This is really a common denominator with all mitzvahs, says the Ramban. Kavanas kol mitzvahs shenamin belokeinu. In all mitzvahs, the intention that we have, the intention that we have when we do these mitzvahs, and this is why Hashem commanded them, is that when we do the mitzvahs, we are doing them as a affirmation of our emunah in Elokeinu, in our God, v'noda elav shuhu borenu, and we are admitting and thanking Him that He created us, v'hi kavanas hayitzira, and this, says the Ramban, is one of the overriding intentions of Hashem in creating the world. She'ein lanu tam acher b'yitzira harishona, ve'ein keil elyon chafetz b'tachtonim milvad sheyeda ha'adam v'yoda lelokov sheboro. This is the we don't have another we don't have any other reason for the Yetzirah Rishona, for Hashem's original creation of the world. And Hashem, who is high up above this world, has no desire in what goes down way down in this world, except for the what's he want from this world, which is what so far down below. Sheyeda ha'adam v'yoda lelokov. That a person who in this world he should know and admit that to the existence of his God, Shaboro, that he created him. Ukavanos romamos hakol betfilos. And the raising of the voices in tefillah. This is what tefillah is. People think, tefillah is all about asking for parnasa and asking for gesund and asking for this and asking for that. That's a relatively small part of what tefillah is. The Ramban says the one of the main points of tefillah is that we are making we're davening. If we think about what we're doing, we're making an admission to the existence of Hashem, and that Hashem is interested in us, and that he's very involved in our lives and in the world in general, which is all the principles of Yetzias Mitzrayim that taught mankind. It had a mix-up in what was the world all about. Ukvanas bate haknesios ha'adam v'yodeh lelukov shaboro ukvanas romus hakol betfilas ukvanas bate haknesoyos uskus tefilas harabim zehu sheyeh lebnei adam mokom yiskapsu v'yodu lekel shaborum. This is the purpose of a Beis HaKnesses, says the Ramban. The purpose of the Beis HaKnesses is that people should have a place which is specifically designated as what is it there for altogether? It's there so that people should come together. That's what a Beis HaKnesses means. Knesses means a place of gathering. What are they gathering there for? What are they going to do when they get to this place and they're gathered all there together? Yodu lekel shaborum. They're making a statement that Hashem is the one who created them, and that's the reason why they're here. The Hemsium, the Afarsamoy zeh, and this is a something, a statement that should be publicized. It should go viral. V'yomru lefanov briosecha anachnu, and we should say before Hashem in the Beis HaKnesses, Hashem, we are your creations. That is why we have a Beis HaKnesses, says the Ramban. Absolutely amazing. V'zu kavonosam v'masha omru zal v'yikru el Elokim b'chazakah. And this, says the Ramban, is the intention in what is said. Where does it say this? Seems like the Medrash. It's not a pasuk. V'yikru el Elokim b'chazakah, and they would call out to Hashem with chazak, with strength. Yeah, think about that. Mikan ata lomad shetfila sricha kol, says the Ramban. From here, you can see this is, he just mentioned, this is a medrash, I believe. My sefer quotes the Yalkut Yonah as a source for this statement, that they call out to Hashem in great b'chazakah. From here, you see, from this medrash, you see that is how you're supposed to call out to Hashem. You need to have it needs a voice, a strong voice. Now, maybe he's not talking about Shemona Esrei. Shemona Esrei is we have our tradition is that we daven Shemona Esrei silently, so that everybody can focus on their own Shemona Esrei. But there are many parts of the tefillah which are not supposed to be so quiet, like the Shemona Esrei. And in those times, in those opportunities for tefillah to be the words of the tefillah to be said, they should be called out, says the Ramban, b'kol. And one of them, of course, is the answering Kaddish, Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah, that we say by Kaddish and Kedusha, Kodesh, Kadosh, Kadosh, Hashem, Tzavakos, and Baruch Hu es Hashem HaMavorach at the beginning and the end of the tefillah. Many times, there's many the amens that of the Chazoras Hashatz. We have an opportunity by Chazoras Hashatz to also describe to all these great principles that the Ramban is talking about. When we listen intently to the repetition of the Shemona Esrei by the Chazan, and we say Amen to everything that the Chazan says. This needs to be done b'kol. And that is, and with that, says the Ramban, we're doing what Hashem created us to do. So that's the kavanah that we should have when we're going to the Beis HaKnesses. We're going there to do something that Hashem created us to do, to affirm the fact that He's Hashem. He's the one that created us. He's the one who is intimately involved in what goes on in the world. Chatzifa Netzach. Levisha. What's that? Chatzuf Notseach Levaisho. Okay. Okay. I'd be interested actually to hear if the Art Scroll has any comment on those words. Lou. See where I am?
Let's see. Specifically, which words are you referring to?
Chatzifa Netzach Levaisha. This is right after he's speaking about the Beis HaKnesses and how we come to the Beis HaKnesses and we proclaim to Hashem, Hashem, we are your creations. And this, what does he say? Well, how do they translate it? What if there's any notes on these words after that?
So is it V'amru kol hagoyim al meh asa Hashem?
No, we didn't get there yet.
No, we're not there yet. Okay. I lost the place. Let's see.
It's about 7 lines up from there.
7 lines up. Umi hanisim?
No, before that. That's
Before
that,
that.
right before, exactly right before that. Umina nisim hagdolim.
Yeah, okay. Right before
It
that, it says
says the words Hatzifa, Netzach, Levaisha. What is that referring to?
uh, Asifa. Uh, I see Elohim b'chazka.
Yeah, yeah. What does they say after that?
Um, it says, this is the intent of the sages of blessed memory in what they said in explanation of the verse in Yonah, and they shall call out mightily to Hashem. That's from 3:8 in Yonah.
Oh, very good.
Mikan,
Excellent. Oh,
the storm is getting strong and they didn't know what to do, right?
right. Which pasuk is that again?
3:8.
Yonah 3:8.
And it says, from here, the word mightily, you learn that prayer requires a loud voice, for boldness can overcome evil. And then there's a footnote that says, boldness in prayer by praying mightily, i.e., intensely, has the power of overcoming all an evil decree. This is,
Wow.
this is because a fervent prayer inherently contains within it an acknowledgement that God is our creator and benefactor.
Excellent. Wow.
And then there's a bunch of references: Yalkut Shimoni, Talmud Yerushalmi, Tanis.
Oh, yes. Oh, I see. Very good.
And then it goes on to another subject.
Yeah, this is the subject that you want to know about. This is what you were asking about. I don't know if we have any time for it now, though.
Unfortunately, not today. You want to meet tomorrow?
Bli Netter.
Okay, same time?
Yeah,
Okay, so maybe we can continue this then.
very good. Excellent.
All
So
right, thank you,
closing it out.
Rabbi.
All the best, Lou. Have a wonderful day today.
You too.
Oh,
Take
man.
care.
Okay.